Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I need to confirm it, but I'm sure it's the US.
But Western world, not India or nowhere like that.
No. So according to this national study, this national survey, 90% of men have not slept with more than 30 women.
Okay.
So the reason why this is a big thing is because in this new world, they say they exaggerate these narratives that most men have slept with like 100 women and etc. etc. And we know that the 10% and whatever have slept with most of the women, etc. But what is it? 30% of men? Is it 10? It's 10% of men, they say. So anyway, whatever. 90% of men have not slept with more than 30 women.
I believe that.
100% believe that.
And 30 is still a lot of people.
30 is actually a decent amount.
Yeah, 30's not like...
But
30's not like celibacy.
I hear that, but then there's man that I know at uni, etc., will do 30 in a week.
In a week? That's a lot.
Bro.
No, in a week is a lot.
Bro.
In a month is a lot. But in a week, that's 2 a day.
Bro, I can...
No, that's...
maybe not in a week. But
in a week is four a day.
Bro, I can actually say, as a witness,
Yeah. No, I know guys who...
I know there's guys that have done 3 a day for about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, that can be done, like on a holiday and this, that and the other if they're on a mad one, or in a uni if they're doing a mad
3 a day, 4 or 5 days, you're hitting 15
but you're not
in less than a week.
But you're not doing that consistently for a year.
You might not be doing that consistently for a year, but
That'll be a situation.
You do that once a week, every year,
but again,
and your average is still a minimum of 15 a year. Again, that's insane.
That's certain guys that can do that. The majority of guys can't do that, and they don't have that effect on women.
I agree. I agree.
I learned a long time ago, mid-20s, early 20s, I used to work with some guys. They had a game, a couple of guys, they had a game of just sleeping with as many women as they could. And they used to compete with each other, right? Mm-hmm. And there was no quality.
It was just quantity.
Mate, when I tell you, I saw some of the girls they were with,
Crazy.
With all respect.
Were they proud of it though?
It wasn't proud, it wasn't nothing.
It was just getting done.
It was just, I'm going to have more than you.
Oh my God.
And it doesn't matter if it... And I knew some of the girls, right? Sick. Some of them were the same girl. That counted as one each if they were with the same girl. The girls knew what... And here's the thing, this is the mad thing. The girls knew what the guys were like. There was no cheating, like there was no finessing, there was no...
That's the best way though, really.
But they knew.
That's the best way.
And they knew the other girls, because they used to do it around an office. They knew the other girls. The other girls knew the other girls. But then almost it was like, when you asked them about it, they'd roll their eyes. I'd never do that. I'd never do that. But inside they were curious. Like, what is so good about him that all these girls are being with him? Maybe I need to go and find out, right? And they just used to do, it was ridiculous. I wasn't impressed with it. When I say I wasn't impressed, I was so curious about it. I was curious. What are you doing? Like, and how are you able to do this? So I was interested in it, but I wasn't impressed by it. It wasn't like I aspired to do that or whatever, right? Yeah. But they used to go through numbers. And then I spoke to one of my friends there who knew them both as well. Yeah, he was a young kid. He was not from London. He was in London working. Sorry, he wasn't even from England. He was an immigrant, right? But he was, at the time, he came over here when he was 19. And I was talking to him when he was, at this point, he was maybe 21, 22. He was having a great time in London. He was working in London, partying in London, right? And he said something to me and it stayed with me for nearly 30 years, right? Or whatever, 20, 30 years. He said to me, all these guys going on about how many women these guys have slept with, 100 women, 150 women, 200 women, whatever, right? Whatever it was. They were throwing out mad numbers, 100, 150 women, whatever, yeah? Which for most people is a mad number. Compared to like rock stars and Chris Brown, I'm sure it's not that much. Do you know what I mean? But like, for an average guy, the thought of a man sleeping with 100, 200 women is like, what?
That's mad, yeah,
it's
yeah.
mad for a lot of guys, right? For the main average people. And this kid said this to me with zero ego. Zero ego. He just said it very plainly. He goes, I have been here. He goes, my first 2 years here, I went out every weekend.
Yeah.
Right? And he goes, every weekend, I made sure I went home with a girl.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't care what kind of girl it was. I didn't care
Scary.
about the quality.
That's
I didn't care about
scary.
it. And he used to go to those super clubs in London. You know,
Okay.
the mega clubs.
Yeah.
Not the posh clubs, not those mega clubs that are like
Bare people.
However many hundreds, thousands of people in there. They're all pilling, they're all off their head, they're all whatever. Do you know what I mean? And he goes, at the end of the night, I'd get a girl, even if she was the last one left. And you do the walk of shame in the morning on the night bus. Them ones, you know, in the night bus, you go out in the morning, you're trying to get a cab or a bus, right? He goes, I would make sure I left with a girl that weekend. He goes, that's one a week. He goes, there's 52 weeks in a year. He goes, I did that it was either 2 years or 4 years straight.
That's why.
Think about it. He's a 19, 20-year-old kid. He's in London. He's not from England. So he's come to the big city. All these people. He's going out every weekend. He goes, I had a different girl every weekend for 2 years. He goes, that's 100 women. He did it for 4, I think. I think he said 4 years. I want to say 4. It could be bro science. I could be remembering it wrong. It was either 2 or 4. But I remember he said, I did that for 4 years. I was talking to him when he was like 22, 23, and he came over when he was 18, 19, whatever. And he goes, for 4 years, when I was a young, late teens, early 20s, I went out every weekend. He goes, that's 1 a week, that's 50 a year, that's 200 in 4 years. But he said it with zero boasting or zero ego. He was actually playing it down how other men talk about 100, 200 a week. He goes, when you think about it, it's 1 a weekend for a couple of years.
Yeah.
He goes, that's 100 women.
Yeah. And then you think about it, even if you...
And no quality.
It sounds mad because we're just doing numbers right now.
Yeah. But no
like,
quality, no quality.
Yeah. Even if you did 12 a year, yeah? If you had 12 new sexual partners a year...
3 years, you got 36.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to remember,
But then...
this is the average.
Huh?
This is the average.
Yeah.
So 30, what is it, about 30, 40%
Well,
of the guys are
they're
virgins until 30, 35, they're virgins.
Yeah.
So that takes out a third of the population straight away.
Yeah.
The other probably, I don't know the numbers, but there's a lot of guys that have been with one woman.
Yeah.
Childhood sweethearts.
Yeah.
Got together when they were 15, 16, been with their wife until they're 25, 30, 35.
But this is why I'm saying that what this actually shows is there's not a lot of men that are actually that highly sexually active. Although it may seem
It's
that
an
way.
average though. Was it an average?
No,
or was
what
it
it is,
90%?
it's saying 90% of men have not had more than
So they
30
interviewed,
partners.
for every 100 men they interviewed,
Yeah,
90%
90 had not had
Right,
sex
so it's
with
not
more
like an
than 30.
average where it's
Yeah,
less
no,
than
yeah.
Yeah, I believe that because I think 30 is still a high number if you're not a generally promiscuous guy.
Yes.
Like, look, and
But
it
if
depends on
you're
your
40
age.
years old...
If you're 40, but say you're 40...
And you started at 20, you got 20 years. That's,
but say you've
the numbers are looking at that one...
But you've been in 3 relationships. One was
Yeah.
5 years, one
Yeah.
was 4 years,
Yeah.
one was
Yeah,
6
yeah.
years. Then you had a couple in between. That's still... 30 is a big number
It
for
is.
that, for average. I'm not talking about for stud boys or for fuck boys. Or
No. You're talking about for the average guy.
Average guy, 30 is a lot of women.
It is.
If you started having sex when you were what? I know now kids
It
are
is,
starting at 12,
but-
13, but say if you started having sex when you were, let's say 18, you were legal, you were adult, you started having sex
Yeah.
at 18, you had a girlfriend for a couple of years, then you're 20.
But-
Then you had a bit of fun, from 20 to 25, you had 3, 4 girls, few months each. Then you got in a relationship 25 to 32.
But this is why I'm saying, with the 10%, they say 10% of men. Is it 20%?
20%.
20% of men are having sex with like 8% of the women.
Yes.
So when you look at it like that,
But that's the bit that
that's the
women don't
10%.
get.
That's the 10%.
Yeah. That's the bit that women don't get. Like,
That's the 10%. And of the other 10% of those men that are doing it, they're not even doing it for more than a couple of years until they settle down.
yeah, it's just it's got to 30. It's just got to 30. Just by having, like you said, a couple of years for 15 years, it's got to 30. But yeah, women don't
So then
understand that.
It's just
But
that 10% again.
It's mathematics. Like 20% of the guys have all the babies with the girls, and the 80%. What is it they say? 60% of men will die single and childless. 40% of men have all the children. 80% of women have children. 20% die childless. So 40% of men are impregnating 80% of the women. So mathematically, they must be with more than one person. And mathematically,
100%.
the two girls are with the same guy. Because the girls, they all want the same guy.
Yeah.
All the girls want the top guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's one Drake. There's a million hot girls on Instagram.
So then why is it always portrayed that men are having so much sex with
Because
all these women?
it's a narrative. It's a narrative. It's the same as men cheating. Women say men cheat, men cheat. Women cheat as much as men. Statistically, women cheat as much as men. Just women don't consider it cheating.
Yeah.
It's what you define it as, and women don't want to speak about it. And also it's justified a lot more. Like if the first thing, and I bet there's women watching that have done this. The second I said women cheat as much as men, tell me if the first thought that went into your head was not, yeah, but women cheat because they're unhappy.
Yeah.
Like all men are happy in relationships.
Yeah.
All men that cheat are ecstatic with their wives. There's loads of men that cheat because they're unhappy as well.
Yeah.
Some women cheat because they're unhappy. Some women cheat because they're just ratchet. They're just ratchet. They just like having sex with other men. Some men cheat because they're just dogs. They just can't keep it in their pants. Some men cheat because they're unhappy. Some men cheat because it's a coping mechanism for them. Some men cheat because they're married to a horrible woman. Do you know what I mean? And some women cheat because they're married to a horrible man. Men and women cheat for the same reasons. It's just this narrative that when a woman cheats, she's tried everything and she's just so, she just wants some affection and she's unhappy and she's looking for love. And when a man cheats, it's just because he's a dog. It's just because he's a dog. Because there's no way he could be in an unhappy marriage, and there's no way he could be in an unhappy relationship, and there's no way he could feel alone even when he's in a relationship and he's looking for love and attention. That can't be it. Because that would be too nice. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be that, no, it's got to be because he's just a dog. Men and women cheat. If women didn't cheat as much as men, tell me this, why are 4 out of 10 family men raising kids that they believe are theirs?
Yeah. That's insane.
Crazy.
That's scary.
Crazy. And I knew about that stat 20, 30 years ago, not before social media, because my roommate, who was one of my best friends, my flatmate, he was in the medical profession. So they used to read all the journals, and he told me about it because he used to read all that. One of my childhood friends who I lived with, he used to read all the medicals. I learned about this early, so it might have changed now because this was before social media and it was before all that.
I learned about it about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff now is
shocked.
Yeah,
I was like, there's no way. But then I look at it and I think, damn.
But think about it. Think of 10 guys that we know. Me, you, 8 others. 4 of them have got kids they think are theirs and are not. Ain't that crazy? When you think about it like that. We got a room full of guys, there'd be 10 of us. 4 of them have got kids they think are theirs and not. 4 of them. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
And to think about how much effort you put into your children and stuff is scary, man.
But the thing is, with that, right, with that statistic, that's the statistic. My theory on it is not based in any science or any fact or anything, yeah? Just what I think might have happened by looking at it. I don't necessarily think it's cheating.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you why. I don't necessarily think it's someone's with a husband or a partner and they cheat and get pregnant and pass it off as theirs. I don't always think it's that.
So what do you think it is then?
I think sometimes a girl's single, she's dating a few guys, there's the guy she really wants to be with, then there's the guy that she should be with because he's safe, then there's a couple of guys she's not really interested in, so she might get pregnant from the one that she really wants to be with, but the one that she really wants to be with is an emotionally unavailable guy.
So she goes with the other guy.
So then she gets pregnant, he doesn't want her because he's just that guy, she's attracted to these unavailable guys. But then there's one guy who's the nice one who she knows will look after him. So she goes, all right, let me go with him.
Okay, did those 2 guys know that they were both having sex with
Doubt
her?
it. Oh, the guy who went might because he wouldn't give a shit.
Because if she was in a relationship with any of them,
no, I don't think that.
Then that's cheating.
But I think there's a lot of girls that are just dating. They got a few guys. They don't define it. Do you know what I mean?
And, so it's not officially cheating.
And we all know women, no, because they're single. They're just having sex with multiple guys. But she knows there's one of them that will fall at her feet and do whatever. She tells him she's pregnant. He will be like super dad, super husband. But that's not necessarily who she found the most attractive to be with.
But he was probably the best.
Who she should be with. There's always people that you want to be with
yeah.
and people that you should be with.
Yeah.
It's not always the same person. Sometimes if you're lucky, it is. Sometimes if you're lucky, it is. But there's people that you want to be with, people that you hoped you were with, people that you should be with, people that you wish you hadn't fucked up. Like, people, adults, when you've been in enough relationships, you have those. You know, if we get to a certain age and you've dated a reasonable amount, not like you've been out there, but you just had life and you've dated a few people and you've had long-term relationships. This is an unpopular opinion, but the person that you end up with was never your first choice. Your first choice was the person that you're with when you're 16 and 15. If that had lasted, that was your first love. That's the person you wanted to be with. It didn't work out, and then someone else. You were never the first person.
It's funny about that though, because those first people always seem so different later on in life.
Yeah, of course they do. Because you're dating a child at the time. You're children. Now you're adults. People change.
Yeah, a lot.
And sometimes it's not even that innocent. That's the best case scenario. Sometimes you're with someone, or sometimes someone is with you, and you are not their first choice right now. There is someone else they would rather be with, but that person is unavailable.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whenever a girl,
Even worse when you know it.
whenever I was single and I used to date, like I used to talk to a girl and then she used to flake at the last minute on going on a date, and she used to say, "Oh, you know, right now I'm just in a bit of a situation where
you know
I'm
there's
with
someone
I'm with someone I can't have." Immediately I'm like, "Why are you chasing married men?" Because the only reason you can't have him is because he's married or he's with someone and he's playing you. Because I know we are guys. We know how guys act. Guys are like, "Listen, I want to be with you, but the reason I've got to be with my wife, because she's telling me if I leave, I'm not going to be able to see my kids. So I'm just there to see my kid." Mate, if he wanted to leave you, if you wanted to leave her and come be with you, he'd be with you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If he was strong-minded enough, he'd be like, "I'm going to see my kids regardless, or I'll go find my wife for them." Do you know what I mean? But any man who gives it all that, I'm staying with my wife because otherwise she won't let me see the kids, so I can't be with you right now, but I do love you, and he's still doing stuff with you, you're a side chick. You're a side chick. If he wanted to be with you, he'll be with you. It's as simple as that.
100%.
It's as simple as that.
And he'd make that decision quite quickly.
And when them girls are like, "Oh, I'm in a situation where I love someone who I can't be with right now."
Do you know what it is though? It's because there's the odd 20% of women that wait around or have a baby, and then the guy flips the script and decides to commit to her, whatever the reason may be.
That's because his wife leaves him.
Yeah. But whatever the reason may be,
He finds himself single and he falls back on his side chick.
Whatever the reason
Until
may
he gets
be,
back with his wife.
there's hope there. So now, the other women that are in that situation that know or have heard of a woman that has been in that situation and then come out on the better end of things, they now have that hope.
You need one example.
And that's it. It can happen.
You need one example, and then all logic goes out the window.
Yeah, it can
that's
happen.
like me saying.
It can happen.
But that's like me saying, "Do you know what? I know someone who won the lottery, so I'm not going to work.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work and have a job. I'm going to wait to win the lottery because I know someone who won the lottery."
That is exactly like
but
that.
yeah, you could. It's possible, but it's not likely.
No.
So when you get those women that like they know this one girl who was a single mum and had 3-4 kids, and a millionaire came and swept her off her feet, and they lived happily ever after, took on her and her kids and this, that and the other. It's like, yeah, it can happen. It can happen, but
It's the hope, man. They ride off the hope.
likeliness, I might as well not get a job because I'm hoping on the lottery. Do you know what I mean? But it's men don't. I say to someone all the time, like I said to someone the other day, like men can't cheat. A lot of men can't cheat. They can't get the main to have a side. They can't get the woman to cheat on. Most men can't get a date.
And as I've always said, I would love for the guys, that have never been in that situation or that always have been like fully committed to just have not an opportunity, but just have the exposure of having that challenge of multiple women being interested in them, just to see how they would respond. Yeah. Because I know for a fact that some guys that have never been in that situation, that love to kind of talk about what they would do and boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I'm not saying it's right. No. But I'm just saying, when you're actually put in that situation, it can get quite techie sometimes.
You remind me of something.
It gets like that.
Chris Rock said that, didn't he? When that Tiger Woods had this thing when he cheated on his wife and everyone was on him, yeah? And he said some politician is it was some like middle-aged old white guy, or not middle-aged, but middle-class old white guy was like cussing Tiger Woods, saying he shouldn't behave like that.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, but you ain't got a busload of bikini-clad Swedish girls pulling up wanting to have sex with you every day, throwing themselves at you. So you're not in that situation.
And I'm not saying it's right to do it.
But it's different when you're in the situation.
100%.
Yeah, it's different when you're in the situation because it's the same as what happened. What is it? This is the best line I've heard when someone says some dumb shit to you like that. I don't know how true it is, but it's a myth that it got said. I've never heard it personally. Someone said to Arnold Schwarzenegger once, I'd never want to look like you. He's like, you know, they kind of looked at his body and went, oh, I'd never want to look like that. You know what my man said?
What?
Don't worry, you never will. So when people say now, oh, I'd never be cheating on my wife, don't worry, you never have to.
Yeah.
You're never going to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
You're never going to be in that situation.
Yeah. Oh, and that's why I don't know, I'm a little bit, I'm not trying to say it's okay, yeah?
No.
But it's for me, it's like, you know when women go, I'm leaving him.
To be in their shoes is different.
So when a woman's got a guy that they know is an 8 out of 10, solid, yeah?
Solid.
And he fucks up, yeah? And she's like, I'm leaving him, I'm done. Like, I just think...
Saying it and doing it,
I just think you kind of knew what you was getting into initially, and I'm not saying
and
I'm
you
not
liked
saying
it
it's
as well.
Okay.
You liked it as
I'm
well.
not saying it's okay, but the risks are there when you have someone of that level. The risks are there,
and also that's why you liked him. That's why you liked him. Otherwise, go and date some short, fat, bald, ugly, broke guy.
Yeah,
and you're never gonna have no problem with other women looking at him.
Yeah, potentially. Some of them are still on job, but
if you
facts.
If you want to do that, people are like, I don't like women look. You know, I speak to some jealous girls on it. You know, we speak to some jealous girls, and they're like, I don't like men looking at my. I don't like girls looking at my man. I get really jealous.
Yeah, you love that.
But who are you with though?
Yeah,
you're with the guy that other girls want.
Yeah,
otherwise, go and date some totally ugly.
That nobody wants.
Guy no one wants. You won't have that problem.
Yeah, and you won't feel the same way about him.
Can I say something controversial as well? You know, as a man, sometimes it's good for your woman, especially if you've been with your woman a long time and she's comfortable with you.
To know that you have options.
Sometimes it's good for her to see girls looking at you, you know? Sometimes it's good for her to when you're a little bit dressed up and you're looking good or you're wearing a suit.
Keeps them on their toes a little bit.
It just reminds them. I'm not saying you should keep I'm not saying you should keep
entertain
your partner
it or nothing. No.
Or do it on purpose. To keep your missus insecure. I'm not saying that.
No.
But sometimes when you're looking good and you're taking your missus out on a date, sometimes it's good for her to see that
you're valued.
There's other women that want you.
Yeah.
Do you know what? One thing I'll tell you.
Got a value in the market.
I'll tell you a mad story, yeah? When I met my wife, and I'm really glad this happened. It just happened. It wasn't orchestrated. When I met my wife, 3 of my exes were calling me. You know the ones.
Yeah.
3 of them were on me. And I was not entertaining it. I was like, listen, I'm not on it. Do you know what I mean? Because with me, I'm maybe the kind of guy that wasn't appreciated at the time, but then when they thought they could do better and whatnot, and maybe I wasn't as attracted to them and whatever. When I met my wife, she saw that. It was one of her first things she saw. And I was very upfront with her. I said, I'm not entertaining it. These are my exes. And eventually I just started ignoring it. I wasn't even really entertaining it before, but I would answer back and say, listen, it's done. I was trying to be like nice. I don't know if I liked the attention. I wasn't sure. I don't think it was. No, but you know, sometimes people say, I don't want to be rude, but sometimes because you still like that you're getting it, and if it stops, you know what I mean? But I wasn't in any intention to go back. But I had a couple of girls that I was dating before still kind of texting me and kind of trying to get back. Do you know what I mean? Or at least putting the feelers out. I'm glad my wife, then girlfriend, saw that because she knew right from the start when girls break up with this guy, they regret it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And she actually said to me, she said, listen, and my wife's a very strong woman. She was like, I'm not going to be one of those girls in the queue afterwards. I'm not putting myself in that situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've now seen it. I'm not messing this one up. Mm-hmm. And then obviously she didn't mess it up, and I didn't mess it up as well, because it's not all been. You know what I mean? It's we both have to work. You know, so I didn't mess up, she didn't mess up, and we ended up getting married. But like, I'm glad she saw that. Because right from the start, it's not like this is some undateable guy that no women find attractive. Do you know what I mean?
She was getting a little bit of an insight on what will happen, what could happen, and what she's getting.
And it doesn't mean I'm saying I'm so attracted to women. That's not what I'm saying. But anyone who you are, you're going to have certain people that find you attractive. So whatever your pool of talent is that finds you attractive, you know, whatever that demographic is that is that people think you're their type. And I'm really happy my wife saw that. I think that was a really positive thing right at the beginning of the relationship, because I think that set the standard straight away. Yeah. Because we know our women are hot. We know if we ever break up with them, they're going to get DMs all day. They sometimes don't think that about us. Or sometimes they forget. Yeah. And I think sometimes it's good for them to be reminded. Like sometimes I'll go to a restaurant with my wife, if I'm dressed not in a hoodie, do you know what I mean? And like, she'll be like, that waitress was hitting on you. I don't even notice it. But I'm glad she does, because she knows, okay, there's still, you know what I mean? I can't get too comfortable. And I don't think you should ever be too comfortable in a relationship. No. Do you know what I mean? But
no, I don't think you should. No, not to say you should stay insecure. It's very easy for people to get quite comfortable. But
comfortable, you should be comfortable enough with that person to be yourself. Yes. But not so comfortable to think that that person will stay unconditionally.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you totally let yourself go, or you could be disrespectful. I'm so comfortable around you, I can swear at you and hit you and no, you don't get that comfortable. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes it's good for women to see their men be lusted over is the right word, but be admired by other women. I think that's good for them.
I agree.
And I think secretly they like it, because you don't want a man that no one else wants.
They do. So long as you deal with it in the correct way, they like it,
Yeah, and that you have to do as a man.
Because then they feel even better about it. They're like, oh, like he's just rejected her over for me. Kind of thing.
And that's good.
Yeah, and that shows respect for your partner. Yeah. And they like that.
But me and you are funny, like, even like I've been out with you and I've seen like girls with guys, when their guy's not looking, the girl's looking at you.
Yeah, it's awkward, bro.
Blatantly. And a lot of men, but you know what the mad thing is? And this is, awkward, there'll be mixed feelings on this. There'll be a lot of guys that get off on that. They like that because they're competitive with other men, even the ones they don't know. Yeah. So they'll like having other men's women. Yeah. Just because men are so competitive that me just having your missus without you knowing still puts me one above you. Yeah. It's crazy how men think.
It's mad. I'm
and you're not like
opposite.
that. You are not like that.
Opposite.
I know you actually think about the guy and you're like, that's mad. Imagine if I was him and my girl's looking at another guy, and I think I'm of your ilk. I don't get the same looks, the amount of looks that you get, but I'm of the same ilk. It's like, what are you doing?
I feel bad, man.
We feel, because we're very pro men and very pro people, men and women, and it's bad when we see.
And
that.
I know a lot of guys struggle with the dating stuff.
Yeah.
So
they don't know.
And like, so I don't know. This guy could have put in hella work to get to his position with his partner, and she's just there staring at other guys. It's mad.
Blatantly as well. Blatantly.
It's mad.
Behave yourselves in relationships. Behave yourselves.
And I think because men are a bit different than women, like I wouldn't even feel a way to be like to a guy, you should really mind out with this one. Yeah, because most men, would feel like you're trying to disrespect them.
Yeah, it's hard.
But women take it differently. Women are more like, what? Tell me more about him. What? Blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, they're friending up these women that are telling them stuff. But I think with men, it's like if you go to a guy and say, listen, your missus is moving mad, they don't believe you. They think you're chatting shit.
But the thing is, they do believe you. They don't want to accept it.
But they're mugged off. They feel mugged off at the fact that you're even telling them.
It's ego.
And it's like, bro, I'm trying to help you here, but you're getting offended by me trying to support you. It's mad. And this is the problem with guys, I think.
But he knows. You know what your girl's like.
Sometimes they don't know. Yeah. Sometimes they genuinely don't.
But do they know? Do they just not want to know?
I think so. Yeah. I think that's what it is. And then the fact that you're telling them, it's like they blame you. It's almost like you done something to them.
Yeah, it's an awkward situation, isn't it? I don't know what to do. I've never really been in that situation where a woman's been coming on to me though, and I know her boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? I've never
it's
been in that
crazy.
situation. I hope I'm not, to be honest with you, but I've never really been in that
It's not
one.
nice, trust me.
But yeah. Right, boy. You sound like that was from experience.
Bro, I've been in it more than once, bro.
Oh, it's mad.
More than once, bro.